Ooh, the kindest thing I've ever been told.
Oh, the kindest thing anyone said to me. That's tough. That's tough. Wow.
So recently one of my patients told me or thanked me for wearing my scarf and being who I am. With the climate we're in, I think that was the sweetest things or the kindest thing that it made my day at the end of the day. So, you know, you always worry about what people think, and then him telling me, it just, you know, it actually it meant a lot. So I was happy.
My father told me, and this isn't the only time he's told me, but there's this one specific time in 12th grade where he looked me just deep into the eyes and said, "Ethan, I'm proud of the man that you are, and I love you." And that was one of the kindest things that I've ever been told.
How did it make you feel?
Loved, worthy, enough.
Well, I work with special needs kids, and one of the mothers one day told me that as part of the family, because her child actually learned how to say my name, and it was one of the 5 words that he can say. And I think that hit home with a lot of chords, that I became part of the family. So it just felt like, I don't know, it felt like the world was better, brighter after that. So.
Oddly enough, when I told a friend of mine that my second brother had just passed away, instead of saying, "Oh, well, at least he's not suffering," and all of that, she just stopped and looked at me in the face and said, "F***." And that was it. It just meant so much to me, because she didn't try to candy coat it, and it was just true emotion of, wow, that must really hurt. So it was beautiful.
Probably on my birthday last week when my sister told me, "You're like a dad to me." So that made me feel like I was doing something right as a brother.
Somebody once told me that I reminded them of a lighthouse. I'm gonna just assume it didn't mean because I was 6 feet tall, but they were just saying like that I exuded light and that people were drawn to me just because I exuded light. And so being somebody that believes in God, I really just took that as a really big compliment, because I want to be able to be a light for other people and shine that to the world around me. So I thought that was really kind.
Someone once told me I was the tortilla to their taco.
How did that make you feel?
Well, Mexicans love tacos, so if I'm the tortilla to someone's taco, that's a pretty big deal.
I love when people tell me that I have a beautiful smile, or just that their smile makes or my smile makes their day, because it makes me want to keep smiling and it makes me feel really good.
In senior year of high school, and it's kind of like the end of a year of a lot of like club leadership, and one person kind of came up to me and was like, I just want you to know that, like, even though usually we really look up to extroverts and people who are really loud and like charismatic, I think that even though your personality isn't like boom shakalaka, that I really appreciate kind of the very gentle and like soft way that you go about leading things. I think that for me that was really validating, just because I think that like oftentimes like I felt that extroversion was a standard that I had to live up to as well, and so I think it was really kind for this person to go out of their way and mention that to me before we graduated.
I can't really remember the specific words, but it was the moment I came out to my mother, and it was like one of the moments where I truly felt that there was absolutely nothing I could be doing wrong, and just with her words and with her space made me feel, it was just, I didn't have to be anything, anyone. I could just be unapologetically, and she gave me that first like feeling of that space. And yeah, I think that's one of the kindest things that anyone's ever done for me.
I'm proud of you.
Who said it?
My mother. Made me feel special, big, humongous. She's seen me come a long way from where I've been in the past, and just seeing the many steps I've taken to better myself. And
whoever had a hand in raising me did a wonderful job.
How did it make you feel?
amazing. Made me very happy.
Why do you think you chose that from the ones you were thinking of?
Probably because I'm with my mom right now.
Oh, that's your mom?
Yeah.
The kindest thing I've been told is people say that they can see the connection and bond between me and my son and the strong love for each other.
So a long time ago, I was coaching baseball for roughly 10 years, and I remember one season in particular, I had a father-son come up to me. The boy had never played ball before, and we went from wearing the glove on the wrong hand all the way to an all-star baseball player in the span of one season. And it was after that season, the father had come up to me, and in so many words, I don't remember the exact quote. In so many words, he had said, you know, you've really changed my son's life, and you've given him a lot of direction and excitement. And it just made me feel good, you know, as a small gesture towards that boy and his family, you know, to give a kid a lot of purpose, you know, and focus. So now he's got a full ride. He went all the way with baseball. He's got a full ride scholarship to a really nice school in Nashville, Tennessee. So he's doing great. I think that's one of the kindest things that somebody's told me before.
So the kindest thing I've ever been told is thank you. A patient of mine came back a couple months after having her baby and thanked me for delivering her baby. She went out of her way to do it, and I was having a bad day at work, and it really made my day that she went out of her way to thank me. My job is really hard, and I sacrifice a lot to do what I do, and a lot of times it's a lot of stress and not very many thanks. And really the thank yous are really what makes me get through my day and really actually makes my job worthwhile.
And what's the kindest thing you've been told?
That Hannah is a serotonin fairy.
And that's your daughter?
Yes, my 27-year-old special needs daughter, yes.
One time my friend told me that when he makes new friends, I'm his standard of friendship. That he looks for people who make him feel as good.
It would probably be you have a good heart. Makes you feel like I'm doing something right.
The kindest thing that someone's ever told me is that I am the perfect combination of both my mom and my dad.
So I met somebody that I'd worked with many years ago. I was walking down the street and bumped into them, and they saw me and they ran up to me and hugged me and screamed and smiled and said, "Oh, how are you? How are you doing? It's really good to see you. And you're amazing, and you did something that changed my life." And that was great, it was fantastic, it made me feel good, but I couldn't actually remember what it was I did. So I'm glad that I was able to help somebody, but slightly unhappy that I didn't remember the issue or the event.
It was English teacher, actually. She was from Canada, and she said that I'm very persistent person, so that stick on my mind, and everything that I do is with that in mind. I'm very persistent.
Recently, my mom told me to forgive myself. Lately, I've been really being hard on myself for mistakes I might have made when I didn't know a better way.
How did it make you feel when she first told you that?
Like somebody saw me.
When someone has said that, like, of course I'd be upset about something, when they're validating my feelings, like, instead of talking me out of what I'm feeling or trying to fix it, like, they'd say, like, of course you're upset about that, of course you would be, like, of course you should want that, or of course that would upset you, right? Just like letting me have my feelings. Because I think so often people are trying to fix your feelings and trying to make them go away. Like, people don't want you to be upset. And so I love it when people let me be upset, and that they can just accept me that way.
That I have the most beautiful son ever.
Why do you think that one sticks out to you?
Because he's like a part of me. You know, it's like my second arm, you know what I'm saying? I feel like I only got one when I'm not around him.
I've been told that I'm very resilient and that I can get through a lot of things. I didn't have the best childhood, but I think I've overcome a lot of things, and whenever I get down or fearful, I always keep in mind those people that have always helped me and been there for me. I had an abusive father, wasn't a great guy, and I think a lot of people unfortunately go through those childhoods, and it kind of puts a lot of fear and doubt into how you are, and as a person, you don't know how reassured you are. You don't have the confidence that other people have, and just getting through that and knowing that you'll be okay and everything will be okay is a really great message to have when you're younger. I have a lot of hard days. I definitely battle with a lot of depression, but if you use the right tools and you really fight for yourself and you fight for happiness, you can definitely get through it. If you focus on something that really makes you happy, focus hard, it'll get you through it. So I like that.
I have a best friend that I grew up with, my best friend in the whole world, and he went on to become a commercial airline pilot and very successful in the Army. I called him up to congratulate him, and the nicest thing anyone said to me is what he said, which is, he said, "It's all because of you." And I said, "Well, where did I work into this?" And he said, "You were an example to me to get into sports and to be competitive." And it made me feel so good that I had no idea that I had even had an impact on him, let alone he looked at me as the tribute to his success. And I memorized a poem to go along with it. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
It's called Sermons We See. It goes like this. I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. I'd rather one should walk with me than merely show the way, for the eye's a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Find counsel is confusing, but examples always clear. And the best of all preachers are those who live their creed, for to see good put into action is what everyone needs. I can soon learn to do it if you let me see it done. I can watch your hands in action, but your tongue too fast may run. And the sermon you deliver may be very wise and true, but I'd rather get my sermon by observing what you do.
Well, now that I recollect, I can't think of any. I think most people these days don't take time out to say kind words to each other. I think we need to spend more time saying kind things to each other, and I think that's what's lacking in the world today.
There you go. How do you think we could do that? How can we make it a point to do that more often?
We just got to make a mental note, just like I'm out here running and exercising. I can make a matter of fact, before this is over with, I'm going to say something kind to you. So that's where I'm going to start. I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to say something kind to you. You're doing a wonderful job with your videotaping, and you seem to bring out the best in people with what you're doing. I think you ought to continue doing that.
Hey guys, thanks for watching another episode. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you want to subscribe to my channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and the little bell next to it so you'll get notified every time I put up a new episode. And if you really like my episodes and you have some friends that you think might also like the episodes, it would mean a lot if you shared my episodes with them as well, if you want. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you next week.